Thanks for staying with us. As Central Georgia University is taking the national spotlight this weekend, the Fort Valley State University Choir has made history. They won the inaugural HBCU Choir of the Year award during the 41st annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards. Joining us to talk about this experience is the award-winning choir director herself, Alicia Carner-McDonald. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So talk to me. What was going through your mind when they first announced the Fort Valley State University as the very first winner of the HBCU Choir of the Year Stellar Award?
It was surreal. The first thing that happened was after they said I heard my kids in the balcony screaming. And when they said it, I looked over at my husband and I said, "What just happened?" And he said, "Y'all won." And I was like, oh my gosh. So it was a moment where I just paused in time and I just had all these reflections to come from rehearsals, from performances, from church worship experiences, everything, my years of directing. And I was like, I gotta get up. I gotta get up. So the president did escort me up to receive the award.
That's amazing. And again, congratulations on this big honor, big success for your students. So obviously you were competing alongside powerhouse HBCU choirs from Howard, Morgan State, North Carolina A&T, and Southern. So what do you believe set the Fort Valley State University Choir apart to beat these 4 other finalists?
Well, first of all, I want to say to just be considered among these universities, I have tremendous respect for all of those HBCUs, and it was an honor and a privilege just to be in the category amongst them. But what I believe made us stand out is our heart and our spirit, and that we believe in what we sing.
Yes, ma'am, that's wonderful. So you talk about that heart, and I know the FVSU already has such a rich legacy and history. So what do you believe winning this inaugural national award means to the institution itself?
Fort Valley State University has been producing excellence for more than a century. And this is just another award, adding another chapter to that legacy.
That's wonderful. And so let's talk about the students. Now, you mentioned earlier you had those reflections of all that hard work. And so behind every 3-minute performance is often months of that hard work. So what did your students have to give personally, academically, and musically to get to that Stellar Awards stage?
People might say 3 to 6 minutes maybe of us singing at a commencement or a special program, or even at a worship service when we visit churches. But I see every day students pressing their way through their situations. Somebody might be trying to figure out, how am I going to pass this class? Somebody might be trying to figure out, how am I going to pay for this class? My parents are looking for me to excel. How am I going to make it? And they press their way every week, twice a week, to rehearsal. Because I think that they know that if they put something in, they're going to get something out. And for most of the choir, we're a family. We're a family, and they move as such. They're like sisters and brothers. They're like siblings. They look out for one another. They practice religiously. They took the time. I told them that God had already showed me something for them and for us. And I told them, I need to know that you're serious, and I need to know that you're committed. We always make academics a priority. So I tell them that, you still need to keep up with your studies. You're still gonna need to do everything else that you have to do. But I still need you to give 100% to choir as well, because we're going somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. And that commitment definitely was shown with that award.
Yes.
So I know the featured soloists of the winning performance were Lauren Michelle and Tiffany Boone. What did you see in them? What did they demonstrate to you that made you know that they were ready to be such an important part of that FVSU's performance?
Well, as I stated in my last interview, I feel that this community, the Middle Georgia area, doesn't get as much kudos as they should for the great talent that we have right here in the Middle Georgia area. And every year for our homecoming experience, our homecoming gospel explosion concert, which is coming up October 18th, we try to get community people involved who are artists, local artists. And those two young ladies are local artists, and we had plenty more. But Tiffany's like a sister, Lauren's like a little niece. And what we did was in our submission, our total submission that we sent to the Stellar Awards, I did put in a snippet of Lauren singing Even Me. And then I put in a snippet of Tiffany Boone singing Hold On, because those were moments within the homecoming experience where the spirit was super high, everybody was locked in, and everybody was having a great time. And I think it was a phenomenal message for me to end that submission with Hold On. And Tiffany, if you know her, she took it there. And everybody was holding on by the end of the song.
That's beautiful. So as choir director, you talked about the heart. You're not simply teaching notes and harmonies, you're helping shape young lives. So what do you hope the Fort Valley State University choir members received out of this experience?
So more than anything, I hope they learn that where you start does not determine how far you can go. I hope they understand that excellence matters, preparation matters, discipline matters, faith matters, and sometimes you can be standing in a room surrounded by people and institutions that seem bigger than you and still know that you belong there. So years from now, they may not remember every note that we sang, but I want them to remember how it felt to work towards something that seemed impossible and watch it happen.
Wonderful, very well said. And so now that the Fort Valley State University has made history, what's next for the choir?
So I want everyone to understand and realize that winning the Stella Award isn't a finish line for us. It's a door that has been opened for us. It's an opportunity. And I want us to continue performing in excellence, representing Fort Valley State University, and taking advantage of all the opportunities that come from this moment. We're welcoming in new students. We're building the next version of the choir. We're preparing for upcoming university and community performances and looking ahead to opportunities that will allow us to represent FVSU on an even larger platform.
All right. Well, Miss Alicia, thank you again so much for joining us this morning. And again, congratulations on this big honor. Now, you have 3 chances to catch the Fort Valley State Choir Director accepting the award on the 41st Annual Stellar Gospel Music Awards show. That's going to be Saturday, August 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Stellar Network or Stellar TV, and on Sunday, August 30th at 8 p.m. on BET or Black Entertainment Television. And there will be an encore presentation at 10:30 p.m.